Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we have this 2009 BMW 750 Lite with the N63 engine, and today we're gonna be replacing the spark plugs. If you watch my previous videos, you know why I'm going to replace the spark plugs on this BMW N63 engine, and it's because it is misfiring. We're gonna start this job by removing these bars over here. We're gonna be using a 16mm socket and a 15mm on this side, so we can remove it. And we can remove the other one too. After removing both of the bars, the next step is to remove these ducts over here, then go to the air filter housing. We have to release them from here like this right now, so we can remove the air filter housing completely. To remove the air filter housing completely, all we have to do is to get a screwdriver just like this one, and we can remove the clamps either from here or from here. We can remove this one here, and after this we're gonna get it loose, and then we're gonna unplug this plug over here by pressing this lever over here. And after doing this, we have to remove this cable from here like this. Then we disconnect this from here, the hose, and now we can take this little clip out. This one we can take it out completely from here like this, and now we can remove the air filter housing completely like this. This is the air filter housing completely, and now we have access to the spark plugs, as you can see. So we're gonna do the air filter housing replacement and removal on the other side the same way we did on this one. After removing the two air filter housings, we have so much room. We have access to the coils and the spark plugs as well. There is another extra item that we have to remove, which is the air duct over here. We can just pull it out and it will come out completely like this. This way we have more room to work to remove the spark plugs, but on this side we cannot remove it because there is these hoses over here. You can remove them, but sometimes they break or something like that, and it's not necessary. We just can make room. And I'm gonna be starting to remove this spark plug over here. This is going to be the number one coil in a spark plug. They go by number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7 for the other side, 8 for the other side. In this case, this is the first one. So to remove this one, we have to just lift this cover over here and then get the plug out. This way, the plug is completely out. And now we have to pull the spark plug out. This is very tight in some cases, so you have to use a screwdriver so you don't hurt your fingers like this, and it comes out like this, and this is the coil. You can see, very simple, nothing special about it. And then you have the spark plug. To remove the spark plug, you're gonna need a socket like this one, a swivel socket, because the way the spark plug is located is in an angle. So if you use a regular socket, you can break the spark plug, or you can not remove the spark plug. So we can insert it here and rotate it until it connects like this. It is already on place. And from here we use a ratchet, move it to the left to loose it, and we remove the spark plug completely. Alright, and it is out. This is the spark plug. It looks alright. It doesn't look like it is completely destroyed, and the way it looks like how it's been burning the fuel, it looks fine. So hopefully everything will be fine with the engine. So let's get the new spark plug to compare it. This is the spark plug number. This is the spark plug you need to do the spark plug replacement. This spark plug is the same OEM number from BMW, but it is cheaper. If you buy it from BMW, it's gonna be like twice as more or more than that. And it is pretty much the same part number and the same item, just it doesn't say BMW, that's all. Over here it says Bosch, it says BMW. We have here the old spark plug, and as you can see, it is the same spark plug, the same number and everything. It is what mechanic shops use, because this spark plug is way cheaper than the OEM, and it's the exact same spark plug. So everything else looks fine. See, as you can compare the spark plugs there, everything looks cool, everything looks fine. So knowing that everything is fine with the spark plug part number, and then we have, let's get in this spark plug back to the engine. All we have to do is to insert it here like this. That's all, because this one has a seal on it and it stays there. So now you can apply some lubricant over here, or some kind of corrosion prevention material to before installing the spark plug. But if you don't want to, it's fine, you don't have to. So all we have to do here is insert it all the way carefully inside there, and then start to rotate it. Make sure that it goes smooth with hand. Don't use any power tool or any ratchet to get it all the way in, because you can damage the thread of the head, and that will be super expensive. Once the spark plug is all the way in, you see it doesn't longer rotate. Then so now I can use the larger ratchet to tighten it all the way. You're gonna move it to the right, and this is enough. This is like a 30 pounds, 35 pounds of torque. So with this, I know the spark plug is secure, and now I can remove the socket. Make sure whenever you get the extension for the socket, it is a locking extension like this one. You have to press this one down, because in some occasions the spark plug socket can get stuck over there, and it's really hard to remove it. After replacing this spark plug, we're gonna repeat the same process with all the other spark plugs right here. It's the same way. Some of them are easier, some of them are harder, but that's the same way we're gonna do to remove the 8 spark plugs. See, the same way, everything was the same way. So I'll get back to you as soon as I get all these spark plugs done. And before I continue, I want to mention that on this side, because there is this dog over here, it's a little harder, so you have to make your way inside there. You can do it, it's a little harder, but it is not that easy. So that's the only difficult part of the spark plug replacement on the N63 engine. But this is going to change depending on the body. In this case, it's a 7 series, but they also can be on the 5 series, X5s and everything like that. And that will change on how hard it will be to replace the spark plugs. Get back to you in a second. I have all the spark plugs replaced, and I have them right here. And I marked it by numbers, because as you see, this spark plug here, it looks really bad. And all the spark plugs on the driver's side are in the same way. Here is the number 5. It's like it wasn't working well. Here is the number 6. See, it wasn't working well. And there is the number 7. This one looks kind of weird. It looks like it has kind of coolant mixture with oil. So it looks weird. So hopefully it is just because it wasn't working, and that's the reason why. Because the spark plug looks alright itself, the little everything looks fine. So I believe then maybe it is something else, it's just then it wasn't working well. So on the other side we have the other spark plugs. As you can see, this is a proper burn mixer, and these were working fine. So on the passenger side everything was fine. So only the driver's side is the one that had kind of weird noise, and maybe that's the reason why it was misfiring. So knowing that there is a problem with misfiring happening with this engine, and that's the reason we're replacing the spark plug, we have to pay attention to the coils. In this case, I have the coils over here, I have all the coils. So what I did is I marked them by numbers to see where each coil is located. So what I'm gonna do, knowing that we have this problem of misfiring, I'm going to replace the coils in a different position. That way I know if there is any coil that is bad. In this case, the cylinder number 7 was the one that was having problems. So the number 7, I'm gonna put it over here, which is going to be in the opposite side, is going to be number 3. So that way I will know if the coils are bad. So without mind, to install the coils is pretty easy. All you have to do is like insert it all the way in. All you have to do is insert it all the way like this, and just make sure then it closes in the position where it goes. It has this little gap, so you can see on this one it has these little gaps where it goes, so it cannot be positioned in a different way. So all you have to do is to align it there, and then just like plug it all the way in. See, it went down, and then we have to plug the little plug back again and close this little tab, and that's it. That's how the coil goes back on place. So now we want to repeat the process with all the other 3 left on this side, and then we want to go to the other side to do the other 4 left.
Action.
Alright, all the spark plugs were replaced and all the coils are back on place. So this is what you need to know to replace the spark plugs on an N63 engine. Of course, there is some stuff left, which is putting the housing, the air filter housing and everything. But the way to access that is the whole labor to remove all that. Putting everything back together is easier. So right now what we're gonna do is put the air filter housing back on place the same way we remove them. And just be careful whenever you put everything back on place. Just make sure that everything sits perfectly and doesn't crack or something doesn't make noises like that, because if that happens, that means that you're doing it wrong. So you have to just make sure on that, and after that just tighten every single clamp, and that's how the way we're gonna do it. So let's start the engine and see what happens. Problem is still yeah. Well, seems like the spark plug didn't have anything to do with this, but anyway, this is the process to replace the spark plug. The point in the video was to know how to replace the spark plug, but in this case the problem is beyond that, so we're gonna need to use the scan tool to see what is going on. So this is all you need to know about replacing the spark plugs on the N63 engine. Sadly, the engine problem is still, so we're gonna find out more about that later. But the point of the video was to show you how to replace the spark plugs. Follow our channel so you can see how this video continues with the troubleshooting. We're gonna do troubleshooting, more troubleshooting about this problem than this engine has. And we're gonna continue doing more videos about BMWs too. So all of you that want to work yourself know how to do it. So make sure to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram, and thank you for watching.